The T-34 is one of the most legendary tanks ever built, a machine that changed the course of history and became a symbol of Soviet strength during the Second World War. When we talk about tanks that influenced warfare, the T-34 stands at the very top. It was designed not only as a fighting vehicle but as a true workhorse of the battlefield, combining firepower, protection, and mobility in a way no other tank of its time could match. To understand why the T-34 became such a revolutionary machine, we have to go back to the 1930s, when the Soviet Union was rapidly modernizing its military. Engineers knew they needed a tank that could fight effectively against German armor, withstand heavy fire, and still move quickly across rough terrain. The T-34 was the answer to that challenge. The tank made its debut in 1940, just before the German invasion of the Soviet Union. Its design shocked the Germans when they first encountered it. At that time, most German tanks, like the Panzer III and Panzer IV, had thin armor and smaller guns. The T-34, by comparison, had thick sloped armor, which increased its defensive strength, and a powerful 76.2 mm gun that could knock out enemy tanks at long range. Its sloped armor design was especially innovative because shells often bounced off, making it far harder to destroy. This feature later influenced tank designs all over the world. Mobility was another key factor. The T-34 had wide tracks that allowed it to move through mud, snow, and broken terrain where German tanks often got stuck. The Soviet Union's harsh winters proved deadly for the invaders, but the T-34 was built to endure those conditions. Its diesel engine was not only more fuel efficient but also safer than the gasoline engines used by German tanks, which were more prone to catching fire. Soldiers often said the T-34 seemed unstoppable, moving across frozen rivers, swamps, and forests without slowing down. When the Germans launched Operation Barbarossa in 1941, they expected a quick victory. Instead, they were stunned to face swarms of T-34s defending the Soviet homeland. Although the Soviets lost many tanks in the opening battles, the T-34 proved so effective that German commanders admitted their own tanks were inferior. This forced Germany to upgrade their designs, leading to new tanks like the Tiger and Panther. But by the time those heavier German tanks arrived, the T-34 had already been produced in huge numbers, giving the Soviets a major advantage. One of the greatest strengths of the T-34 was its simplicity. It was easy to manufacture, easy to repair, and could be built in massive numbers. Soviet factories worked day and night, producing tens of thousands of T-34s during the war. In fact, more than 80,000 T-34s were eventually built, making it one of the most produced tanks in history. Its design allowed even inexperienced crews to learn how to operate it quickly. Spare parts could be replaced on the battlefield, and damaged tanks were often repaired and sent back into action within days. This efficiency gave the Soviet army the ability to keep fighting even after suffering heavy losses. The T-34 also evolved during the war. The early models carried the 76.2 mm gun, but as German armor became tougher, the Soviets upgraded the T-34 with the more powerful 85 mm gun. This version, known as the T-34 85s, could take on the German Panther and Tiger tanks more effectively. It had thicker armor as well, making it even more durable. The T-34 85s became the backbone of Soviet armored forces in the later years of the war and played a vital role in the Red Army's advance toward Berlin. For the soldiers who crewed it, the T-34 was both a lifeline and a weapon of victory. Conditions inside the tank were cramped and uncomfortable, with little room for movement, but the crews respected the machine because it gave them a real chance to survive and fight back against the enemy. Many Soviet veterans later recalled that they trusted the T-34 to bring them home. Its balance of speed,